Peace and Love Collective. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. I just wanted to jump on here and enlighten you guys a little bit more on the twin flame journey. Now, before I started this message, I literally saw 717 on my timer because I was taking a break at work. And it's such a powerful download in regards to soul recognition and what this twin flame journey really is. So I actually posted a message the other day. If you haven't checked it out, definitely go and check it out. I'll put the link right down here. But in that video, I received a download in regards to what the twin flame journey is. And I'll just quickly summarize it. I talked about how once upon a time, these twin flames that we refer to, they were one, as in one soul, that was actually split into two souls, but that are technically still one soul. So this is why when these people often meet, there is an immediate soul recognition because you are seeing yourself in them because you are them. Now, what tends to happen is if these two souls have not done the healing work prior to meeting, then they will often project onto the other, or they'll become very judgmental about the other, not realizing that they are judging themselves. Because these souls usually mirror one another. So you might be familiar with the terms runner and chaser. It's giving you're two different garments cut from the same cloth, right? So one of you might look like a skirt. One of you might look like shorts or a pair of pants, but you're literally made from the same cloth, okay? So you might have the same types of triggers or wounds that show up differently. One might manifest as the avoidant and the other as the anxious attachment, okay? As the chaser. But you're both codependent and you're both suffering from abandonment wounds at the core. So this is what I mean. It can manifest differently, but you're both suppressing your feelings and you're both running from love, but you're both afraid to love and to be loved. Because even the person with the anxious attachment style, they tend to push people away. They both tend to push each other away in different ways. The person suffering from anxious attachment, they push the other person away by being too overbearing, by being too controlling and overprotective. And then on the other hand, you have the avoidant who is way too nonchalant, who ghosts, who runs away when things get too difficult. So once again, they both self-sabotage in their own way. And what often happens is that they begin to judge each other, not realizing that they're judging themselves because their behavior is originating from the same core wound, which is abandonment, okay? So when we talk about twin flame unions, I just wanted to give you that example to better understand what I mean. We're talking about a deep soul recognition. So this is why you might experience a separation. It's usually when you haven't fully accepted yourself unconditionally. It's when you think that you have to be perfect in order to be worthy of love. And so you begin to expect this other person to be worthy of your love. So you expect this other person to be perfect in order to be worthy of your love. You're actually projecting onto them based on your own wounds. And this is why it's so important for you to do your healing and to continue doing your healing, even when you guys get together. But once again, you don't have to be perfect in order to be loved. It's all about acceptance. That is the journey of the twin flames. Them both learning to accept themselves. Because the way that you treat yourself is how you will treat the other person. So once again, if you expect perfection out of yourself in order to feel worthy of your own love, you're going to expect perfection out of this other person in order to feel as though they're worthy of your love. But once you learn to have grace with yourself, once you learn how to be more forgiving and compassionate with yourself, the more that you'll learn to be forgiving and compassionate with the other person. Now, I'm not saying that you should stay in the dynamic if the person is refusing to look at their toxic patterns, if they're not changing. What I'm saying is not to judge them, because you're judging a part of yourself. See them as an extension of you. It's all about understanding one another because you are one another. And that's why once you guys can get to a point of acceptance, you will feel more seen than you ever have. Because that person will know you like the back of their hand because they are you in a way. They understand why certain things trigger you because those same things probably trigger them. They understand where you've come from, the type of relationships that you've been in, because they too were in very similar relationships. Because you both had similar patterns. And so this union is so powerful when it does come together because it represents pure unconditional love and pure acceptance. So once again, when it comes to yourself, you have to let go of perfection. Okay? Nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. And if you're expecting them to be perfect, to never make any mistakes, then you're probably also not allowing yourself to ever make any mistakes. You're probably very hard on yourself. So the more that you can give yourself grace, the more you'll be able to give them grace and also space when necessary. Because like I said, I'm not saying for you to stay in a toxic dynamic. I'm saying for you not to hold resentment, but to maintain a deep understanding of why they are acting out in the manner that they are. It's just coming from them not wanting to face themselves. That's what it means to be a mirror, that they can no longer hide from themselves. Because they either see themselves in you or you trigger parts of them that they have been trying to avoid. So once again, when it comes to these twin flame unions, although you derive from one soul, a part of your journey is for you to become whole within yourself. To let go of this idea that you're incomplete, because Spirit revealed this to me. Many twin souls, they feel incomplete. They walk around in the world, and even if they're in a relationship, they always feel incomplete until they find each other. Okay? And a part of that, like I said, it is a soul remembrance. It's deeper than just some romantic relationship. It is your soul recognizing a part of itself and wanting to reunite with it. So that's why the relationship can be so intense. It's all very energetic, okay? So you might feel this intense chemistry or just this need and desire and longing for this person because you are desiring a part of yourself. So it's nothing wrong with that. And it's a beautiful thing when you can come together. That is why it's so powerful. However, you have to come to a place where you begin to feel whole within yourself. That is a part of your journey as a twin flame, is loving yourself, being able to make yourself happy, being able to feel complete without another person. That within itself is a powerful journey, and it's not always an easy one. But like I said, there's nothing wrong with you two reuniting and coming together. But if you can come together already feeling whole, this is when the real sparks will fly. Sparks as in Kundalini awakenings, okay? Because now you're both whole, and it's two wholes coming together, not two halves making a whole. So I made some cards, and one of them was called the sweet spot. Okay, so Spirit revealed to me the sweet spot is when you can love someone, but love yourself more. Meaning you don't have to sacrifice your happiness and your joy to be with someone if they're not fulfilling your needs and your desires. It's not about judging them, it's about accepting them. If they don't want to rise to the occasion, be okay with that. Don't internalize it. Don't take it personal. Okay? Try to understand where they're coming from without compromising yourself. Because as I've said in one of my other posts, many of us, we tend to project our own potential onto other people. So you have this idea of this amazing life, and you decide that I want to spend it with this person. Many people become stuck on that one specific outcome, when that beautiful, amazing life and dream that you've created in your mind can actually be materialized with many different people. Both parties willing to participate. It's very important that both parties are willing to participate, because you can daydream all you want about this amazing life, but if the other person is not doing their part, if they're not participating, it's not fair to you to sell yourself short or to sacrifice or to compromise your own wants, your own needs, and your own desires. You deserve to have all of your needs met. So sometimes, although it might be painful, even within these twin flame dynamics, you have to walk away. And once again, don't do it jaded or with resentment in your heart. Do it with a deep, unconditional love and understanding that although I have decided to grow, to evolve, and to change, this other person just isn't there right now, and that's okay. But I'm not willing to sacrifice my own joy and my own happiness for somebody else. I deserve love. I deserve reciprocity. I deserve someone that shows up for me and that participates, who's a team player. It takes two to tango, as the saying goes. So your higher self is never expecting you to sit around and to put up with the bare minimum. Like I said, a part of the twin flame journey is you coming home to yourself, you realizing that you are worthy of love. and not just any discounted, bargained love. You're worthy of the best love, of a quality love, of sincerity, of consistency. And if someone isn't able to provide that, that's okay. There are many other possibilities that are available to you. Okay? So Spirit doesn't want you to limit yourself. Another thing they had me write on the card is it's okay if you manifest something and then you receive it and realize that it's not what you want. The reason being is Spirit said, what many of us don't realize is that although we're manifesting things, we're continuously changing, we're continuously evolving. This makes me think of a story. When I was younger, I had this boyfriend, and he was a bad boy, okay? He was in and out of jail, and he would just disappear and all types of things. And I was just so in love. He was like my first crush. And my mother told me at that time, she said, one day you're going to realize that this is not what you need. Even though it's what you want, it's not what you need. Because she said, when you get older, you're going to realize that your needs change. And obviously, I was a teenager, so I wasn't paying any bills, okay, or anything of that nature. So I didn't care about any of the stuff that you tend to care about when you get older. Like, can he keep a job? Okay, is he showing up consistently? You just want to be in love. And I realized as I got older, I was like, what was I thinking? I'm like, you're in and out of jail. How are you ever going to keep a job? You know what I'm saying? He was a player. So I just, I woke up to reality. I had a reality check. But it took time because when I was younger, like I said, certain things didn't matter to me. But as I evolved, my needs changed, and so did my desires. So it's no different when we talk about manifestation. Sometimes when you manifest things, it may be from a place of lack. Okay? Maybe you didn't love yourself that much when you manifested that specific person that kept ghosting you, that was love bombing you, that was gaslighting you. When you manifested that person, you didn't love yourself. You didn't value yourself. But as you grow and you evolve, you begin to love yourself. Before you know it, you're no longer willing to accept those things. So that thing no longer looks desirable to you unless they too have evolved. So Spirit said it's okay for your needs and your wants to change. It's okay for you to pivot. Even if you've manifested something, you're never stuck. Okay? You can always change your mind. And by the way, another sign or synchronicity that you might have been seeing to know if this message is for you is 144, 69, 96, and 369. But Spirit said the key to manifesting is to know that you can have anything that you want, but also that you don't have to settle for less than you deserve. So once again, that just kind of ties into what I just said. Don't short sell yourself, right? Tell yourself, I can have anything I want. Be confident in that. Okay? But also know that you don't have to settle for anything that comes along. Does that make sense? Okay? So be confident in your manifestation powers because you will more than likely manifest everything that you want. But like I said, That doesn't mean that just because it comes in that you have to accept it if it doesn't show up the way that you might have expected. It's making me think of those online stores. And you order from these stores. A good one is Temu, right? So you see a picture of this product, of this item. Maybe it's a dress or jewelry or whatever. And it looks amazing on the picture, right? It looks great on paper. But then you receive it in the mail and you're like, what is this? It's a completely different fabric. The colors are faded out, right? Maybe the seamanship is horrible, if that is a word. And so you end up sending it back because you're like, this is not what I ordered. Maybe you ordered a specific size and the measurements were off, and now you can't even fit into it. So you have to send it back, right? Spirit said it's no different when it comes to manifestations. Just because you order something doesn't mean that you have to keep it. Even when it comes to those stores, they have a 30-day refund policy. Message. And last but not least, the other tip that Spirit wants to give you is to romanticize your life. If your happiness is contingent upon somebody else being in your life, then you still have some work to do. And that's okay. Recognize it. Don't be in denial. Okay? If you not having that text message or that phone call come in completely ruins your day, completely puts you in a state of fight, flight, or freeze, then you still have some work to do. But if you can continue to function normally, knowing that, okay, that has nothing to do with me. I'm still beautiful. I'm still valuable. I'm still the prize. Once you get to that place of knowing that you're still whole, you still have the ability to be happy without that person, then that's when you're truly ready to love. Okay? Spirit said, daydream more about the experiences that you want to have without trying to insert a specific person. So once again, all of these things that you're projecting onto them, I want to go traveling, okay? I want to do this. I want to do that. And you're thinking that you have to have a person to do all of these things with, to enjoy your life with, then that's going to put you in a state of lack, okay? But once you realize that you can enjoy your life, you can have fun, you can feel fulfilled without another person, then that's when you're truly free. And that's when you're truly ready to love. That's when you won't be suffocating in a relationship because you will know how to give them space, and you'll know how to also take the time that you need for yourself without making your life completely about them, without making your life revolve around them. It says, what is meant to be will be. Focus your energy on creating the happiness that you want instead of waiting for or needing a specific relationship to fulfill you. Okay, let me repeat that last part again. Focus your energy on creating the happiness that you want instead of waiting for or needing a specific relationship to fulfill you. I'd say any relationship, okay? Because that goes for friendships, that goes for family dynamics as well. It's okay to be okay with being alone. Just because you're alone doesn't mean you're lonely. And I'm not saying to hermit. I'm not saying to go into hiding and to not interact with people. What I'm saying is become your own best friend. Be okay with taking time for yourself, with celebrating yourself alone sometimes, with going on that vacation alone, okay? With taking yourself out and doing things alone, enjoying your own company, because that's how you get to know yourself. And you know, the most beautiful thing about that is once you get to a place where you don't judge yourself, you will realize how freeing it is. And it's just you. You do what you want to do. You can be yourself authentically. Now with that, because Spirit kind of let me know, we're not really caring about stepping on people's toes in this season anyway. Okay. So in regards to that, it's giving be authentic no matter what. Okay. But what I'm saying is when you're by yourself, you don't have to carry others, which is literally this other card. It says you are not responsible for carrying the weight of others. Yeah, you ever had that friend that just wanted to dump all of their garbage onto you? It's like you just want to go out for a drink. You just want to have a good time. And next thing you know, it turns into like a sister circle of boy problems and all of this other stuff. And you're just trying to have a good time, right? But now they're imposing and forcing you to be their psychiatrist or their therapist. But Spirit said, don't stack too much on your plate. You're not responsible for carrying other people's weight. That means their pain. That means their wounds. Okay? Like I said before, if someone is not treating you right, it's okay for you to take a step back. Okay? It's one thing to be compassionate and to be understanding of what they're going through without judging them, but it doesn't mean that you have to carry that weight. Okay? It doesn't mean that you have to deal with whatever it is that they're trying to dish out based on them not doing the healing work and taking accountability. So I love you. Hopefully this gave you a better understanding of this twin flame dynamic. Like I said, go and check out my other video from the other day. It's very insightful. I love you, and I'll talk to you again soon. Peace and love.